Hey boys, for the guys that don't sort of know too much about the electrics and the workings on these machines, this one at the moment has got a vibration coming into it. Under deceleration, it has a minute cutout of all power. So when you back off, all the power goes out, for all your sparking and that all goes out. On takeoff it's sluggish, it doesn't go so well. What we're going to do, the first thing you check pretty much is the end of your timing plate. I call them exciter, I call it exciter ends, I don't know the technical term of it. But what we're looking for is this on your vacuum advance. So when you back off hard, all your vacuum comes in and you twist, which is what's supposed to happen. So I'll take this end cover off and I'll show you. Another tip, when you're taking this cover off, make sure to take note where your timing marks are. Most of them, the gaps on the back here, one's larger or one's smaller than the other ones. But what sometimes happens by previous owners, they put them on back to front, and you put them on the other way, and they screw them up and they end up burring these over. So then you end up, it'll go on two different ways. It'll go on 180 degrees. So when you take that off, make sure you take note of where your timing marks are, so that you know you go back on again for later reference. Righto, these wires in here is the ones we're talking about. You take your screw and you're capping that off. So when it's sitting here, you turn your vacuum, and that's where all your movement is on that one spot. Like, they're very pliable wires, but these are the culprits. So you actually just grab them and you pull them. You can't hurt it. You pull it. Nothing, 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 nothing. Grab this last one and it stretches. So there's your broken wire. And there's your problem. So now it's just a matter of going through and cutting it and joining it up. And maybe if you've got the length of room here, wherever your solder goes, you just bring your plate up to there, or you can get a shorter, however you fix it's up to yourselves. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a stretchy wire that will actually, there you go, it'll actually snap if you stretch it hard enough. So then you just find where your wire is, and click it, and away you go. So we're going to have a crack at fixing it. What you'll find, because over 30 years of the wire doing this and bending, it's all frayed fairly seriously on the ends. One thing that everybody's going to do, they're just going to grab it and cut them and make them shorter and shorter and shorter. Like, you know, that's where it broke to start with, so that all these wires are the same length. But we need to join that so you've made that shorter. So you can't keep cutting these down to get fresh wire, because you're going to make it shorter. What's going to happen, you're not going to have your room for your movement on your swing there, so you're going to need to feed some of this through your new hole anyway. So I'm just going to wire it up. You can't really twitch it because of the wire that it is. It's a weird wire, very soft pliable wire. I'm thinking on my feet, I don't have a solder station or a little stand with two alligator clips that hold everything together and nice and neat. I just don't own one of them. So I'm thinking of the next best thing to hold your wires together. Just grab yourself some auto wire, cut a length of it of whatever you reckon, and I'm using one single strand. And what I'm going to do is twitch it onto the wire, and then I'm going to twitch both pieces of wire together to hold it in place while I solder it. It's just finicky and really painful. Make sure you put your heat shrink, if you're going to use heat shrink. Make sure you put that on first. It's just going to be a little bit embarrassing for yourself if you turn around and you do all this and you find out that you left your heat shrink off. So just wrap it up so it'll hold it. We'll cut all those lengths off later after we've soldered it up. So now it's just a matter of grabbing the soldering iron. Soldering iron. I was sick of little cheap stuff that always broke down or never heated up, so I went and bought a soldering iron. Instant heat when you need it. And just solder him up. You can't see what I'm doing. Alright. Sort of. Yeah. In. Make sure it works. Not really. Soldering is not my forte, but when you need something, I'm not even sure how to solder, if there's a correct way or an incorrect way. Oh, I know, there we go. Put the heat through the wire so the solder follows it. About the extent of my knowledge of soldering. Righto. So that's pretty much her at the minute. Wait for that to cool down a little bit. Drop your heat shrink over it. Grab yourself a flame of some sort. Shrink her on. Bob's your uncle. Now that we've done that, what we're going to find is if you put everything where it used to be, your hard bit, cut these off, the hard piece of wire and your repair is going to be right where the suppleness was, and you've got that hard bit. So you either need to bring your wire through your grommet so that you have new supple wire, and then the wire that was through your little clamp here, you just need to extend that out so that it all fits in. But try and keep it to the same track that the same route that it was at before, and that way it'll bend and follow the same route in your clamp, and your solder will be just out through the hole. So that's, if you're if it's mucking up and it's not doing, if it's not behaving itself and there's something wrong, like I say, you know, it's sluggish on takeoffs, or when you back off, your spark just disappears for that split second, or the thing just won't start at all. That's your first thing you check. So you go straight to that, pull on your wires, and like you saw, that's what will happen. It'll be just really stretchy. You if it's been broken for long enough. This has been mucking up for about 3 weeks now, just on and off funny bits, so that's where you look for your cracked wire. So maybe it helps somebody. At least you know what you're looking for.